great set of matchups ready for you tonight. But for first up, this is going to be Division 6 through 8, third and fourth place positions. And this is going to be coming from Missouri SNT versus SIUE Cougars. I'm joined here today with my boy Kimchi. Kimchi, how you doing, brother?
It's finals week. It's exciting.
Ew.
Not
Ew.
that finals week. The good finals week. Midwest R6 finals week. Not.
Oh,
Yeah, it's finals week. Come on.
I thought you meant like college
No,
finals.
it's the fun final. It's the fun kind of finals week.
I'm all for that kind of finals. I remember my days at college. I don't miss that, even though I will literally be going back to college next year. But that's another story for another day.
Curse
But
yourself to
with
the
that
return.
being said, ladies and gentlemen, you guys ready for this? I'm certainly ready. First up for today, we're going to take a look at these teams and what they've got going on. And starting up, this is going to be MST Green. We've got M Shake, Nam 18. I'm Goyo, I'm guessing. Yeah, Galio, Tubular and Boater, St. Louis, I'm guessing, with a player average rank of 152 and a record of 3-4, which we'll get into that in just a second. SPRs, M Shake, 46.38, 45.85, 44.75, 37.83, and 37.79. A little on the low side as far as, if you consider the baseline at 50%. So I do wonder where that will go. But as far as roster names out of the way, let's take a look at their roadmap and how they've done over the season. Kimchi, take it away.
They started off the season with a pair of wins against ISU and MST Green. Then they lost to their sister team in MST Gold, Carbon, NU, and U of L. 4-game losing streak. And then they rounded out by winning against Cougars to go a nice 3-4, entering the playoffs. And, well, what matters is you win when it does indeed matter. So getting that last win to just push themselves into the playoffs. And clearly they've won their last 2 games to get themselves here. Or, well, 1-1. Sorry. My mistake.
100%. And I think it's better to go on a losing streak when you can afford it. Because guess what? That means you're going against teams that are playing better than you. A lot of learning opportunities. And it's clear that they took that learning opportunity as they did going against Cougars. And now they have the opportunity to bring it out into third place, which I think is a pretty respectable standing. Can't really complain about that. But with that being said, let's take a look at our second team, SIUE Cougars. We've got the Courier. I already forgot.
Inosuke.
Inosuke, thank you. And then we got Dickle Pant. I'm
That's a
regret
new
saying
one.
that name already. Dave and Chaos with their SPRs being 50.96, 55.23, 44.19, 42.86, and 46.38. A modest degree higher than from what we saw with
MST.
Missouri, but still pretty respectable. I wouldn't say anything too crazy in that regard. Player average rank being 179, and their record 5-2 with a round differential of 17. Pretty good showing. And speaking of showing, let's see the roadmap.
So the 5-2. So 3-game win streak to start the season. Back-to-back losses to, if I remember properly, the only 2 other teams to go pretty much ladder their way to the wins. One was undefeated. The other one only lost to the team above them. And then a win against Kettering and UWRF to round it out. But remember last week, tough showing against, I believe it was Michigan in the semifinals. So that's how they ended up in the 3rd place match instead of the finals.
So close, yet so far. And that was a decent matchup as well. But I mean, with a track record like this puts SIUE Cougars at a pretty good stakes, especially with their SPR, as we saw previously, to possibly take this into 3rd place. But, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing I've said before, their upsets can happen. And I think this is a breeding ground for a potential upset. But with that out of the way, let's look at the head-to-head player matchup. That's going to be M Shake versus Inosuke with a KD 1.06 versus 1.47, SPR 46 over 55, almost a 10-point rating difference. SRV 35 over 31, and a KPR of 0.57 versus 1.02. What are we thinking about this, Kimchi? This is quite a stark differential.
A a half kill per round. I went to look at the numbers. 133 kills on the season for M-Shake compared to 283 for Inosuke. So getting quite literally doubled the action out of the SIUE kill leader compared to M-Shake. So similar survival ratings, but the Siege player rating does say a lot. Like the KDs are similar, but just one of them is being way more efficient, doing way more with their lives than the other, and it could be a huge difference maker if these are the two top players for their team, as we are led to believe.
Yeah, this is a significant differential. And this tells me, at the very least, when it comes to their top players, SIUE Cougars does have a pretty considerable lead in having a heavy hitter to pull a lot of weight. However, if you were there with me when we saw SIUE Cougars play it out, when Inosuke went down, a lot of problems started to arise. So there was a little, I would say to an extent, there was some kind of dependency to get some kind of impact before Inosuke went down. So I do wonder if maybe we'll see a more balanced compositional performance from Missouri. Maybe not, maybe so. But that's kind of where I'm keeping my eye on. Because even though the top player head to head shows a pretty good difference, maybe, just maybe, having a more balanced roster could really be all that matters ultimately. That'll remain to be seen. But what doesn't remain to be seen in just a moment will be the Team 1 player over time.
And it's going to be the aforementioned M-Shake. Didn't participate in spring 2024, assuming it's a new team or freshman. Sometimes the star player is truly just some new guy they scooped up. And it really just is a bit of a more time to emphasize actually a little bit of a different KPR here. I think that's a complete season as opposed to just regular season, as that is a 0.7 compared to a 0.57, which is a little bit of a nice increase, nearly a quarter, nearly 50% better. But still, it's going to have to be a big step up here from either the whole team as just a big team effort, or it's going to have to be a big step up from M-Shake here if they want to take third place over SIUE.
Yeah, it's definitely weird that there's a bit of a discrepancy, though that does make sense. But hey, remember, Bolo, absolute legend, was too young to actually, get into competitive, had to, turn 18 to be able to like get picked up and all this stuff. And look at what he did, right? Sometimes, like you said, if that's the case, M-Shake being a freshman, sometimes it's those young guns, who've got that raw natural instinct, haven't had the wickets built into their hands like I do. So,
Oh my god.
And yes, I do acknowledge I'm calling myself old. Compared to everyone here, I guess I am old. Sad. But with that being said, let's take a look at SIUE Cougars player overtime. And that's going to be Inosuke. As we've spoken about before, spring 2024 with an SPR of 51.24. Going to be able to improve that up to 55.23 despite the setbacks from last matchup. KDR still looking stable from 1.44 to 1.47. KPR 0.95, 1.02. Again, still relatively stable at 0.07 differential. And then an SRV with a slight drop from 34 to 31%. Still, in general, a 1 out of 3 rounds full-on survival rate, which I would still say is quite commendable.
I just want to talk about what we kind of hammered on last week, which is Inosuke, or what we saw last week. Inosuke, when he got to pop off, was completely just changing the game for SIUE. But when he was neutralized by Michigan, it was disaster all over for them. They couldn't seem to get any of their bearings, and it kind of feels concerning for SIUE in this match if it's going to be a coin flip of whether Inosuke is the superhero they need to lead them to victory. And much like MST for different reasons, but they need to step up as a complete unit this time. It cannot just be 1 or 2 people having 10 to 12 kills per game and hoping that it's going to bring them over the finish line here.
But honestly, I think there's a very good chance that can happen. We talked about SPR ratings, and keep in mind, SIUE Cougars across the board has a much more consistent SPR spread over MST, even though, keep in mind, that that a lot of the weight does fall on Inosuke, I think there's a lot of potential for Cougars to be able to carry out a win through the full roster. It's just a matter of consistency, which I think is going to be the key pivot point for this upcoming matchup. But speaking of matchup, let's take a look at the map bands and see what we've got for you guys and gents and everyone else.
Nailed it.
For this upcoming matchup. Yeah, thanks. I'm not good at being full encompassing. I know I suck. I suck. But with that out of the way, first map, it's going to be Chalet coming in from MST. Map 2, going to be Bank from SIUE. And for the decider, this will be Cafe Dostoevsky. What are your thoughts, Kimchi? I know we kind of talked about it in the backdrop a little bit.
Oh, no. Cafe was the other match last week. I was going to talk about it, but never mind. I lied. It's default. You said it before the stream when we were talking about the map picks. It's 3 default maps. Chalet is one of the, if not the most visited map at this point for many of these players over the course of the season or their careers if they've been playing for multiple years. Cafe, as the decider, is a bit of just kind of a comfort map, honestly, at this point. It's not the map that anyone hates to go to or anyone's particularly bad at. It's a map some teams practice quite a bit, but some others don't practice quite as much, but they're always going to be okay with it. And Bank is a bit of the wild card, as that's one of the lower presence maps throughout the season, if I'm not mistaken.
I do believe you are right.
Yeah,
We've
only
seen a decent amount
games?
of prevalence coming from maps like Skyscrapers. I think that is one of the less prevalent maps, funny enough. I believe you're right on that. But with that said, let's actually take a look at the player to watch for the MW bets. Let's see where the confidence is placed amongst the community.
Courier.
That's going to be with the Courier with an SPR of 57.49, a KD of 1.73, KPR 1.15, and an SRV of 33%. Gotta say, I can't really blame them for that, especially when you've got numbers as striking as 1.73 KD. That is quite dangerous.
That's pretty solid, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had those kind of numbers. Then maybe I would have not been hard stuck plat and ranked 1.0. But hey, yeah, not everyone is as talented as Courier here, yeah? But with that said, let's actually take a look at our top 5. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to bring up that this is last week's top 5. So there will be a highlight reel for all the clips in near future, so keep an eye out for that.
Can't do anything, but I can blame it on nice.
One Raptors on
After that, my dad.
That's door, please. Condor, on condor.
What's going up, main?
in bathroom. Bandit.
Nice.
Bandit in bathroom. Bandit up.
Logi there.
You set up
Nice.
flank.
Nice.
Logi
Logi connector. Nice.
Here, one's here. Buck below.
That-
Pointing him.
They open.
He's holding you, Logan.
Said.
Dying to fire.
Down low,
Above
Logan.
us. Above us. He's still high west. My ace. My fucking ace.
Nice, Logan.
Here comes the sweep the wall. Knows that there's one close by, but how close does she know? And does finally catch him out. This is a now looking to catch that first bird, but can she do all the way downstairs with a health disadvantage? And with those prone holes, Reserve gonna be the one to save the day.
One came from upstairs. Ran out, crouch. Crouch right, swing crouch right. Don't swing it.
Whoa! Yeah, baby!
All right, we have a few more minutes before we get into the game. They're just getting the lobby all finished up, nice and tidy for us. And I'm gonna take a moment to talk about map records because I talked a lot about map records last time. Chalet, 9 round wins to 8 for Missouri and 44-27 for Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville. That is a big differential in not only games played, but overall performance.
Yeah, it's a really impressive track record, and I'm quite proud of SIUE. Actually, that's the school that my cousin's actually going to, funny enough. So,
On the Siege team?
yeah. No, my cousin will not be playing Siege. I expect
Aw.
her to be better than that. I am not. No, you guys are not going to taint her.
She has standards.
Yeah, we'll say
Oh.
that. But with that said, we're going to start off with the Hibana band. Hello. That's
Not terrible,
pick.
but very, out of the box. Outside of the box.
Maybe if it was Clubhouse, I could definitely see it, but not for Chalet. I mean, I just don't think. I get it. You know, if you're dealing with a vertical sweep, it's nice to have someone like that who can get a lot of these redundant walls that don't really have any, electricity or any like choke point potential out of the way. But other than that, that's a rather questionable pick. The Monty, expected. Mira, still think it's overplayed in the band department, but expected, reasonable. And I think SIUE will probably wrap this up with a zombie. Or are we expecting another banger coming out from SIUE in the bands?
No, it's probably a zombie. Warden. Okay, I
Wow.
lied. That's very, out of the ordinary.
I think SIUE cooked with that one. That's crazy.
That is.
I think they're confident in dealing with the Ying and probably want to bring it themselves. That is a crazy band and a lot of confidence.
They're
am
bringing
willing
the
to bet-
zombie too.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to bet money that they're going to be pulling a lot of Azami and Ying plays. That's what that composition screams to me. And it makes sense. We've seen SIUE Cougars play Ying quite a bit. That's not out of the question for them by a long shot.
Oh, and they're going basement, so they are just stacked. Mute, I guess Jaeger's a part of here, but I was going to bring up Jaeger. Mute, Kaid, and Bandit. They want walls down. Like, you're not getting garage door. Just give it up. It's going to take forever.
Well, I mean, with the new metas and getting walls open, there's definitely some room for error there. Oh, Tubular is bringing out the Ying. I'm not surprised that MST Green decided to go for it as well. The composition at first was heavily suggesting they weren't going to go for it, but I'm thinking we might see an aggressive wall push. If you look at the composition, you've also got Sniper on the fuse as well. I think that what we're going to see is a heavy displacement away from the wall, possibly try to force that wall to get opened. Then again, if you look at a composition as well, they have no hard breach charges.
Yeah, they switched off of their hard breach options. They are, they're just going to play top down.
Yeah, but the question then becomes, where do you go after that? Because the problem is, basement's one of those sites where you want to open up everything. And I think they're relying too heavily on Ying to be able to break these choke points. And I don't think this is going to do what they think it will. I'm not too sure about this.
I don't know if they wanted. Maybe I think they got a good look at what SIU were bringing to the table because they immediately switched off of a pretty standard rush basement door or garage door comp. Capitao, I think they still had the Ying. They really didn't want to test it. So no hard breach is an option, but this Ram is eating up the floor and just walking up the stairs is Inosuke taking out Golio, and they were just too excited to open up the floors, it seems.
Yeah, that pushdown was definitely way
Whoa.
too rapid, but whoa, nice
wrap
breach
around.
coming in from Nam to take Inosuke, who overheated, stayed over by main stairs for too long, and I think this could be an actual big opportunity coming for MST Green. Having that main stairs position so early on, paired with the hatch opening, all they got to do is displace any players over by garage, or maybe get some eyes by blue stairs, which is exactly what Sniper's doing, starting to head down bottom blue stairs. This is a unique opportunity to get some real damage in. However, you got it's holding close to the stairs, possibly looking to take a fight here. Doesn't spot the fuse yet, though. Badly timed walking down is all it could take.
It's about the flashbang,
looking
though,
for
so
each other.
he knows they're looking for something.
Yep, and there comes the Candela, or the Yin Candelas. Not done anything with it, though. No major pushes. Does spot one through the drone hole. Possibly looking to take one. Wait, is this a bait? Could Dave be doing this intentionally to force him out? I don't know if that's what the plan is. That would be smart. Oh, but Snipe gets a really nice shot.
No
a
way.
lot of damage onto Dave as well. Taking a lot, as well as displacing just
Wait,
enough
where are
space
they?
in order to ensure a plant. Do they even know this is happening? I don't think so, as Nam picks up a double kill against Courier, and now Diffuser has been planted. And there's the push-up. Doesn't go very well, but with the prompt re-swing coming from Dave to take Nam 18, but now way too late, as M-Shake coming up from behind to give MST the first round.
Okay, so a bit of an interesting angle from MST, and a really odd, or not an odd, but a bit of an overplayed response from SIUE. They decided that MST were playing a little too slow with what they were doing. They were a little too obvious that they were playing for first floor, or for that first floor vertical with the Ram. And they obviously made the right play, wrapped up, got up the stairs, took out Golio. But then they just kind of consistently stayed over aggressive. Inosuke gets picked off on a pretty obvious wraparound play, especially with a sledge of all things. Very not subtle to break a wall open with a hammer. And they just overcommit onto Sniper, honestly. They send, I think, all 3 members, actually, and completely surrender Garage for a free plant, and they're forced to retake kind of by their own hand.
I would have to agree with you there. It's definitely quite absurd how they were able to hold Garage like that. Usually, you have a setup heavily geared towards preventing a Garage plant, but just that simple take against what we saw with Fitz over by Blue Stairs was just enough to prevent anyone from contesting the Diffuser. And that's far from ideal, especially when you don't have to deal with any walls getting open. They could have even played in Garage itself. I mean, they did ultimately get it with the secondary breach charge, but I don't think that was the
Initial
primary
plan, no.
intention. So I do find that rather poor. So I'm not really sure what the next direction is. It's clear they're not going basement, as they shouldn't. But now we might get a little bit more insight into what their more pronounced strat is.
Right, so they spot the barbs out, so I'm assuming they already know it's second floor. They did basement sweep already. They should know exactly where SIUs want to at least defend. It's just a matter of how they're going to approach this, as we have 2 taking the library right now. And 1 attacking balcony. Is he going to peek his head out? Yes, but he's not going to get caught. Inosuke drops self-revive. Not going to do enough. And that is a nice pick once again for Sniper to give MST the advantage early.
Yeah, that is quite a rough pick. I'm not really sure what that swing was, though. You already had pre-fires. Oh my gosh, yeah, they do have a cap. How did we miss that? That is
We weren't talking about the defense.
ultra-aggressive. Gets the spot. Oh my gosh, does get the down though.
Impact? Got it.
Is gonna throw the impact. And that could cause a little bit of chaotic displacement for MST, because nothing's more terrifying than finding out you got a down teammate and they were down by a cap. That is
Nam
scary.
Wins
But
the
it doesn't look like
duel. Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's making much of a difference, as Nam is able to take quite a strong
way.
pick right outside of office onto Chaos.
Diffuse?
And it looks like they're planting.
Again?
SIUE,
How are they getting
are you gonna
this?
stop this? Oh,
No, it's gold.
there is
Oh,
one
it's just...
below. No.
Courier's gonna get 1 back. It's 3v2 now, but you have a Cav that's way off the mark right now. And a P-shooter castle that can't really fight anyone.
Yeah, this is so interesting how badly SIUE is getting displaced by relatively standard pushes coming in from NST Green. That's a good pick coming from Courier, able to take Sniper down. However, M-Shake does take Fitz down on the way back up. And that's going to bring it down to a 1v2. But still 15 seconds remaining, but Golio is not letting that happen. Not a chance on Earth.
Nice use of the deployable shield there. It's a bit of bait cover. Just waiting it out, and MST Crete have just found SIUE overcommitting, over-aggressive 2 times in a row now. And they've just gotten free plants, no questions.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how little they have an answer for diffusing. This is a very weird step back from what I would usually expect from SIUE. If you look at these setups and the way they're playing, they don't really have it planned out for how they're going to deal with standard diffusing when they get pushed back. when we saw that in Garage, when they took that main wall open, despite all of the heavy investment in preventing the wall from getting opened in the first place, once that vertical setup, they had nothing against it. And the same thing here. Once the office wall got opened up, they didn't really have an answer. They fell back and had no way to fight back against it. And it does kind of make me question, is Chalet not really a map on SIUE's, I guess you could say, repository?
Clearly it
Or
is. They fixed it
strat?
7. They got it 7 times.
Yeah, this is not what I would expect from SIUE. This is very confusing. I get MST Green is attacking with a decently fast rapidity, but I really can't make sense of this. This is a big setback for SIUE Cougars.
Yeah, it can't be a, because we saw last week with Cafe, it was a lack of playing, but not for SIUE. Just there was a team, I cannot remember their name. I feel bad, but they were 1-1 on Cafe, and they picked it into a team that was 6-0. Holy cow! Okay, maybe SIUE have the tempo. Iniske gonna get the opening pick. He's gonna get traded back, getting way too aggressive. Tubular on the rappel punishes him looking for a run out there, and that's a bit of the issue they've been facing.
A good run out, but once you take one, you back off. You don't continue to commit, especially when you have a Nitro, because that means now only Chaos is the last person with the Nitro. And there's a walk up from Fitz, trying to take a fight up against, I believe it is Sniper, if I'm not mistaken, but runs down to half HP. Does manage to get away though, but I don't think that went rather well. Does get the
That's good.
utility on, or the floors onto the, oh yeah, they missed the electrical boxes. Very unfortunate there.
I thought they got it. Oh, Golio goes down.
Yep, Golio goes down, trying to push up through Blue Hall against that half wall. Really hard to contest. Nitro still in hand, but there's no holes prepped in order to throw a Nitro down.
How did
So
Sniper
this
go
makes-
down?
That's a good question. Yeah,
It's not a
must
mat.
have
He's
been
not
down
getting
from
himself
Fitz
back up.
from below. Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty hard revive. Yeah, I think that came from Fitz, able to take that pick. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Golio does go back up. So far, no one going for the res on Sniper, and right now they really can't because of the player below. That's gonna be Fitz, able to take out M-Shake as well. You've got to watch out for roamers. Not much of a clear coming out from MST Green, mostly funneled above, and the consequences are very well and clear. And that means that pretty much they've got 2 players at low HP, and even Tubular, who's now down to about 75 HP. This is a really rough situation to be in. A massive slowdown off the jump, goes for a direct take, and SIUE was having none of it with the roam. And that's gonna put them in a bit of a bind here, as Sniper goes down now as well. It's picking up another on the roam. Does finally get spotted by Blue Stairs, but the damage is already done. Golio goes down as well. Courier now looking for another, but that's gonna be actually Chaos to finish Tubular off.
They chased Fitz off, so they knew he was down and rotating around the basement, and no one checked him, it seems. Just no one checked him on basement stairs and just let him kind of just chill there, get 2 picks for free.
Number one rule of roam clearing: if you spot a lone roamer, get them. If you got the time to do it, and if you don't have the utility to just cut them off and ignore them to put added pressure on site, get them. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. That's got way too much impact as a lone roamer. And these are the things, ladies and gentlemen, that you can't allow to happen. You can't have someone roaming like that and getting that much impact. But good on Fitz to stay off the radar and keep their survivability up. Really good plays coming out as a solo roamer. That's a very tall order, typically. And still being able to get that off is quite impressive. Because in theory, that shouldn't work.
Okay, SIUE not going back to, they're not going back to basement at all, it seems. They have
5 seconds remaining.
the reset available, and they've opted to go to bar. In pool
Attackers are
room.
moving to defuse a bomb.
Interesting. I thought they might have wanted to take a crack at basement a second time. They have a solid
for
defense
sure.
already set up.
I think right now we're kind of seeing a situation in which SIUE and the rotations is just trying to figure out what's going to be their comfort maps, because basement didn't go very well. Even second floor was quite rough to an extent. So now the question is kind of what sites are going to be our go-to. Because I would say they're likely going to be expecting a best case scenario, a 4-2 as of right now, based off of projections of rotations. So they're trying to stick to what is going to be most comfortable for them, is what I'm expecting at this point. And they do immediately get office control, MST, as SIUE doesn't really have any presence over by office space, and that's going to be huge time efficiency coming for MST Green, as this gives them ample time to deal with the blue stair setup, as they got Wamais holding that down as well when it comes to those discs, which is going to make it quite a bit more difficult, especially when you got 2 players over by bow. That's going to make things a lot more trickier having that many players above. But you don't have any horizontal players coming in from MST Green either, as Nam goes down. That's going to be thanks to Inosuke, bringing it down to a 4v5.
They know Inosuke's hiding there. They spotted him on drone. They're just trying to take a gunfight with him, which is not the best idea here.
No,
Do they have any
definitely not.
They don't have any util to flush him out. They only have flashbangs. They don't have any frags, and that's going to mean Chaos, unrelated, picks up Tubular and is going to get a chunk out of M-Shake there.
Yeah, it's definitely looking rough for the vertical here, as they have made no progress ever since that initial push. Although they do have Connector, goes for a very aggressive push. That's going to be Galeo trying to hunt down the player from blue stairs, but does manage to get away. Inosuke now down, but no revival in sight. They do establish vertical. I think the fallback from SIUE came a bit too early. Inosuke going back up, as now they've got ample time with vertical, especially Galeo down for still a lot. Whoa!
Team fire. That's
Yeah,
not good.
Oh my gosh!
No
and
way!
another TK?
They
Jeez.
returned the favor. It wasn't a TK for MST. It was very nearly, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
how you
very nearly.
returned the favor, but still win the round. They've tightened up a lot since their first 2 rounds. They've cleaned up quite a bit, and they still have a chance to go the standard 4-2 split that they are hoping for.
Man, their own teammates are the ops. My gosh.
Most teams
damage
want them
and
dead.
TK? Man, they want the smoke with their own teammates.
Needed. Or you're
Hey.
not apologizing, saying it was
Yeah.
a necessary
Bombs from being defused by
But
necessary
either-
kill.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, they had some vertical, but yeah, they just got picked off way too hard by SIUE. They couldn't really get a pinch down, and the counter push came at just the right time. They fell back, realized that they probably shouldn't have fell back with as much time that there was, and were able to push back quite succinctly in order to prevent MST Green from even building up any semblance of momentum. Because especially when you've got Galeo on the ramp, that is a lot of
10 seconds
opportunity for some big damage on the vertical. That's not something you want. But the
5
problem
seconds
cleared
to
itself
insertion.
up. Galeo went down blue stairs and got wiped out just like that.
Attackers' objective is to
This is
locate a
another
bomb and
basement,
defuse it.
no? No one's been on the bomb sites, or at least the people we've been following haven't been on bomb sites, so I actually can't tell because it's just below us. They also like reinforcing this wall quite a bit.
Yeah, and I do like this extended roam. It is quite a typical setup, but one of the problems again is how far back SIUE pushes on this. But a big problem for MST Green is that their vertical typically does not go very well. They often do not, from what we've seen so far, do not get vertical without a big player disadvantage, or best case scenario, breaking even. Which, don't get me wrong, breaking even is fine, but if that's the best you can do, your best won't do. Because on average, you're losing on the vertical, and that average is gonna put you at a disadvantage. Now, I don't know if that hatch got popped open by
It
mistake or
did.
not.
No, definitely by mistake. Was shooting a drone.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
The
But
super
either-
shorty is just like that.
Oh yeah, but either way, with how things stand currently right now, this is kind of the struggle. The vertical.
What the heck,
Oh,
Inosuke?
but Sniper. Spawning Inosuke, yeah, right out in the open. I don't know what was going on there, but Inosuke was not ready for that, as he goes down
The sniper
very
beats himself.
early on with a minute and 37 seconds to spare. 5v4. They do have vertical, except they're still courier, holding all the way by closet. I don't know if they are aware. It does look like they do spot him out, and that's actually going to be Dave. Or I'm sorry, Dave was caught out from a completely different position. but they're still aware that Courier is around. That's thanks to that droning. There's the swing.
No
A
way.
TK as well. Does manage to get Courier down. Stop the freaking TKs. What is happening? Why are you running into that? Chaos.
Why are you running up the
Completely
hatch?
exposes himself. The sniper goes down.
Oh,
Nom
Nom's down.
goes down as well, but in a very safe position to be revived, and we will see just that. Now a 4v1 SIUE on quite the bind as MST Green gets a very strong impact out of the vertical. Not too much invested towards fighting above, and now with 44 seconds
And Fitz
above,
is running.
they're gonna have to eventually drop, and we're gonna see Fitz rotate to basement. I don't know if that's a timeout or what they're trying to do here.
Attackers
But
are
either way,
trying
Fitz
Closer
is
to
gonna
the
go
kitchen, I
down.
believe, because he's
And
gonna be
now-
right here.
Oh.
But not a great spot to rotate to. You know they're gonna be watching it, and MST Green have stopped the bleeding and have guaranteed themselves at least 3-3.
Yeah, I didn't even think about going towards west, but I definitely don't think that was an answer.
Nope.
I mean, especially like when you think of the positions, right? You can either push through lobby, which is a funnel. You can push through west main, which has a major choke point, one of the hardest choke points to push through. Or you could go above, right? Try to catch one or two above,
Defenders,
and to move
protect
down
your bombs
Solarium,
from being
which is
defused by
much safer. So, really not sure what the decision making was there. I can't say I disagree with it, but since you mentioned it, that does make sense. Going to basement if you're going to go west main, but I just don't see that as the right option. But in any case, yeah, MST Green now securing themselves in
Attackers
at
are
least a 3-3 situation, which is very much more favorable. A much better vertical coming down, and just way cleaner execution. And again, SIUE either getting caught burnt once that vertical takes hold, or
10 seconds
displacing
remaining.
themselves so far that denying diffusing is just
5
out of the
seconds
question,
remaining.
really.
I want to know what happened. They had two roaming up on.
Attackers are
They
heading out to defuse.
wanted to set up a roam for office, and they immediately just surrendered it. I mean, it was 4v2, so yeah, you usually give that no matter what, but just it was a very quick fallback to Solarium.
Yeah.
For Courier
believe-
there, just like no contest.
I believe there's a bit of a tempo issue that's kind of going on the side of SIUE, because we've seen this happen several times now where SIUE falls back relatively early to, I would say, insufficient pressure. Now, it's always a good time or good idea to fall back when you know that you're in for trouble. But when you are falling back without even putting any kind of pressure to force droning or utility or anything like that, all you're doing effectively is giving free space, which even if you keep your numbers alive, there's a certain point at which you're backed into a corner and now you're in a losing game. So there is some kind of activity that has to be mandated. And with MST Green trying to play it fast, they really don't get an option to try to stall out time by keeping the numbers up. That isn't working. Their best foot forward is to force the numbers down, which works rather well against MST Green.
MSU is a different school.
Did I say MSU?
Yes.
Gosh darn it.
I also called MSU MST earlier, so I'm not innocent. I'm guilty.
That's all right. But either way, Chaos successfully stopping the wall from getting breached so far, and with Tubular now down to 1 ace chart, that's gonna make
Run
getting
out.
the wall a lot harder. CNSK gets a very nice run out, able to take Nom down. That is gonna be the Thatcher. So that means that wall ain't getting opened.
They have
Any
oh
time
my
at all.
Why is Nom over there?
I believe it was for the repel. I'm not 100% sure.
How is he
down
hanging
for-
on the balcony and not inside? They have control there. M-Shake is right here.
Very confusing indeed. 55 seconds remaining, low on time. Lord ENSK getting a very aggressive swing onto the window, just in the right place at the right time. And that's catching MST Green quite off guard, as they don't really have a lot of presence or progress outside of office. Try to blow the soft wall open, but that gets shot out as well, meaning that they have no hard breach, and they're going to be forced to walk through funnels, especially with Sophia who only push through potential. They do get that wall open thanks to Sophia. They get caught in the fen rear, completely out blind here, and with very little options, very little time, this is looking quite desperate for MST Green.
All right, you have an AK. You have the AK-12. Get in there and fight. And there goes M-Shake. Chaos not even taking chances, not even making it look difficult. It's a double kill for Chaos. And we're going to into the second half, tied at 3.
Yeah, that's very polarizing the way that these rounds played out. Either you get a sweeping clear coming from MST Green, or SIUE just wipes the floor. I mean, no real balance either which way. It's either MST Green just gets a really weak, I would say, initial entry, and just gets caught out in every which way from trying to play it too fast, or SIUE just gets absolutely burnt from playing too passive. A very dynamic scenario, I should say. But, hey, if it keeps you alive, that's what works for you, I suppose.
Now I want to see what
Both
this
teams have been
Warden
able to do
pin's
it.
about.
Yep.
Because
Both
this is
teams
where it's
doing
going to
it
show
3
through.
times. Yeah. And I do kind of wonder how this will play out, as now it's MST Green's turn to defend. And remember, there is no Warden on the board, thanks to SIUE Cougars ban. So they do have the option to bring Ying with very little interruption.
They
including
are.
operators like Sense and extensive smokes. But will they use it? That's the question. MST Green, not so much.
2 smokes, 2 frags. Why did they ban Warden? 6 Claymore? What the... What is this gadget spread?
Definitely something I wouldn't call the most
Efficient?
agreeable. Yeah, especially when I wouldn't say MST Green is that aggressive on their roam. When it comes to like lurking and running around, usually they kind of stay put, and we're seeing exactly that. I mean, holding pretty much entirely around Library, Blue Hall, and anchoring on site. We're not really seeing much deviation beyond that. But now the question becomes, will SIUE be able to get an opening pick and get some kind of immediate building presence? Because right now, leading up to 2 minutes, and we haven't really seen any push. Now, SIUE does have a tendency to play it slow on the attack, and this is where I start to worry. Because this is a map where you kind of have to be dynamic in your initial entry. And so far, a minute has passed, and that has not existed.
They're waiting for MST to make some big rotation, some big mistake on a roam, but they don't do that, and M-Shake's actually gonna punish a very odd repel from the choreo there, and... yeah, you caught them on the rotation at the worst possible time right there. That's pretty much what they were waiting for, and SIUE, they aren't in position to take advantage.
Yeah, the impetus has to be towards you. A slow placeout can only get you so far, and right now it hasn't gotten them anywhere. Look at this, they're still all outside, with the exception of Fitz, who's over by Bar, but otherwise there's no building presence. We finally see a hop in, that's gonna be from Chaos, looking to take a fight towards Galileo. There's the initiative, does manage to successfully take him down. That's gonna be active utility out the window, now gone. Thatcher does go through, starts to throw those hands, but does it prevent the wall from getting open? It does not. They do manage to get a peephole, but that's about it. 1 ace card still available, but the pushback comes through. That's
Four.
Nom, Nitro as well.
Why did Fitz...
TK? Okay.
Fitz
that's-
finished off his teteammate? He's gonna get one
I
back,
guess
so it's
that's
not
a
even
kill.
even, though. It's 3v2, coming up the stairs, misses all 4 shots or so. He's gonna continue to tag Sniper, and Sniper is just gonna have to go around somewhere else. They have 30 seconds. Fitz is 0 health, basically.
Yeah, this is a rough start, but it does look like Fitz is now going to have to hold out
Yep.
over by Blue Hall. You've got
Tubular's just gonna wait.
Sniper at the back. You've got Tubular at the front. This is a tricky situation. Looks like Sniper will be able to catch Dave. I think he hits the last one. User in hand. 5 seconds to the clock. Time to split up, but can't find anybody. As MST takes the first round of the second half.
Way too slow, a little discombobulated, uncoordinated. SIUE just kind of looked lost out there in that first round. They hung around the outside for way too long. They had one guy, they had Thatcher, which is not an operator you usually want separate from your hard breacher, just kind of lurking, going for a flank. It was a weird op to pick to do that, if anything, and just kind of messed with the tempo a lot, it seems.
Yeah, this was a very slow going round. And you really can't afford that. Like, these are both teams that aren't exactly known for their aggression. Although MST Green does like their high tempo initial entries, but other than that, this isn't a team with any notable aggression of excellence when it comes to that. They're kind of reserved, similar to SIUE, which proves a significant
The location
problem
of a bomb.
when it comes to attacking, because you're gonna have to come to them eventually. And when MST Green takes these key opportunities, plays a little bit aggressive, that makes for a very uniquely tricky
Attackers are
situation.
moving to defuse the
As
bomb.
you're waiting for something to happen, and then the second you look away, you've got a player who's being ever so patient, and correctly so on MST Green's side, like we saw with Leo, and takes a high value pick out. And you don't really have to go for anything. You just gotta wait for them to stop looking, and there it is. This is where you have to create the opportunity, which hasn't happened so far. But I guess SIUE might be listening in on the stream as they brought in a blitz, which is a very alarming way to get some action going right out the gates.
I can see the action they want, though. They want, just Dokebi calls someone, Blitz runs them down like a dog, and hopefully wins the fight. That seems, I mean, that's usually why you're taking Doke Blitz, at least, because doesn't really synergize with the rest of the squad. The rest of the squad just a breaching team with some decent firing power. I mean, great firing power on the side of Ace, but...
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing a lot of droning coming in from SIUE towards Garage side, but I want you to note how many drones that they have towards Garage and Boiler, and they haven't spotted anyone or even made any presence over there.
No one's in
And
Garage!
this- Yeah, and this kind of makes me question even further
Inosuke's in.
where the confidence is. I mean, I get droning. It is important, but you know it's clear. What's the point in droning past that? Especially when there's nothing to hunt, nothing to gain. Whoa! An aggressive walking coming from Inosuke, and that is not gonna pay off at all. Sniper having none of that, catches him out the jump. I like the initiative, but that was not the play.
He goes in solo there. Like, I understand he wanted to get that swing. He knew somebody was hiding in the hallway. And now his blitz is found and has put a bullet in the back of the head of M-Shake. And Golio's going to trade Chaos. It's 4v3 like the round count right now, and it's a minute to go. SIUE need to find an answer, and they're going to get Golio down with Fitzrain. And who has the diffuser? Diffuser's down. They're going to find two more, though. Fitzrain's just popping off. Almost fine. Yeah, only one.
I guess sheer force can really do the trick. Tubular is looking to try to fight his way back through Boiler, which could be a big choke point, as that would potentially box out SIUE towards Blue. However, the push-up starts, putting the pressure on towards Connectors. Courier looks to pursue, and Tubular pre-firing nothing?
Wrong corner.
Okay, Nam going down as well, as Courier sweeps that
Works
out.
out.
And SIUE's forced walk-in actually works rather well here.
Should
So
not
props
have...
to them on that. Definitely
Good.
unexpected, but I guess Inosuke was testing the water and proved that they could pretty much walk in whenever they wanted. And they did.
I mean, Inosuke should have probably walked out as soon as he noticed there was no peek coming from the hallway, but it worked. He got the attention of whoever was hiding, and Courier was able to wrap around
Attackers
safely.
need to locate and defuse.
You probably could have kept your life, but no, it works, it works. Not gonna argue.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, can I be honest? Really an unexpected matchup. I
Should not-
will
what
state
the-
that. No, that absolutely should not have worked.
That's
But
the
it
forbidden
did.
tech.
Yeah, the forbidden tech.
Give your life so your
Just
team
ro-
just gets to walk in.
Yeah, just walk in, stupid. What's the holdup? Just go.
I don't think I've
And
ever
they-
seen a player
seconds
do
to
that with
go.
like a DMR. I've seen it with Ashes, I've seen it with Blitzes. I've never seen that with a DMR
5 seconds
before.
Inosuke really just said bet, and it just
Attackers are
Kind of
looking
worked.
to defuse a bomb.
Todd Howard, the mastermind, right? His beautiful quote. It just
It
works.
just
Don't question
works.
it. Don't think about it. It is what it is. But
Okay, triple
we are
shields.
seeing the blitz again from Courier, and we're not seeing Inosuke on the Blackbeard. I do
We are seeing
kind
one.
of like this, but I do think it kind of doubles down on the
Oh, you only have a pistol, buddy. Don't get excited. You have a
Knife.
PMM.
knifing right at the peak is crazy. And Chaos also has a shield as well. That's 3 shields
Yeah.
on SIUE.
It's not the 5 shield we saw last week, but
There was a 5 shield? That's
yeah,
crazy.
it was
keep in-
crazy.
Yeah, but keep in mind, MST Green has 3 nitros on the board. Nom, Sniper, and Tubular have 3 nitros. And we all know a shield's worst nightmare is a freaking nitro. And there's 3 of them for 3 shields. So we'll see what comes out of that. You've already got immediate pressure coming towards West Main. Oh, doesn't connect. Tries to, but does manage to stop the blitz. But there's another shield. It's going to be Blackbeard. Does get caught out, unfortunately, and ends up going down. Does establish immediately first floor presence with a 4 or 2 player advantage. 2 nitros still in hand. 2 shield players remain. Minute and 30 seconds, and they have that first floor presence. But I do wonder if they're going to try to go for that we ball walk-in strategy.
No way that frag connected.
Wow, the nade connects onto Sniper. Wow. That has got to be a little tilty. I gotta lie. Or I can't lie. I've been there. I feel it. Now I'm 18, able to pick up a really nice pick. Set off, throw out his nitro, but gets caught out by Chaos with the fuse shield. Definitely not what I was expecting. Also, PMM is better than GSH, and I will die by
That's
that.
a factual statement. It is a
It
factual
is.
statement.
Less ammo, but way more stop.
Hits harder. That's all that
Oh,
matters.
yeah. You're telling me. But with that being said, this does put SIUE now at the lead, 5 and 4 in their favor. 2 more rounds, and they bring map 1 home in their favor.
Defenders,
Though,
protect your
keep in
bombs from
mind,
being
this,
defused by attackers.
if I'm not mistaken, no, this is MST Green's pick,
This is.
which does not bode particularly well for MST Green, as they picked a default map as their pick.
They did pick a map
Why-
SIUE have excelled at though this season.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Bit of an odd one.
Ooh. Yeah, even though they're having an odd one, like you said, this has been, historically speaking, a very strong map for them. So it's no
Bomb
surprise
located by
that
attackers.
they would
Why
be
is there another
perfectly fine with
clash?
this.
Piercing, this is your fault. Why is there
10
another
seconds to
clash?
insertion.
Why you
How
mentioned
is
it
this?
you mentioned
5
it last
seconds
week
to
that
insertion.
Clash is this weird pocket pit, and now there's a second one in
Attackers
2
are heading out
weeks.
to defuse a bomb.
I'm cooking. I'm just a knower, man. I'm telling
Tubular,
you.
if you throw this round, or no, that might have been that was night. Oh, there were 2 night
tell-
games last week. I was losing it.
I'm telling you, man. Clash is the pocket play. This is what I'm telling of you. If there's a shield, screw it. Let's put another shield in there. Let's make a blockade where no one can make any progress. Because for defense, no progress is better than losing space. I'm just saying. That's the logic.
Oh,
And speaking of the logic, Sniper able to get aggressive over towards Trophy Room and takes a very early pick on an Inosuke. That is a big loss coming from SIUE. Not only do you lose your top or your MVP, but on top of that, you lose Deimos as well, which means that MST Green basically has the full go-ahead to roam quite aggressively. Though, there's still Chaos on the board with the Dekebi, so can't get too overzealous though there, but that gives a lot of people the impetus or the confidence to be a little bit more wonky in their roam.
Are they gonna just chill? They're a man down. I know they can play. They should be playing a little cautious, but they shouldn't just be 4 members outside still. Spread down. I have not seen a Finka in so long. Wow. They found Clash. Great, you found Clash. Incredible. What a valuable find. The member
Yeah,
who's
she does have a way
openly
to make herself obvious.
yeah, the one you found the one that's trying to be spotted.
Yeah. So they do spot that. They are able to find the bandit. So it's pretty much kind of the same old for what you would expect out of Office.
attacker
Sniper picking up a
bomb
double
diffuser
kill.
has
That's going to be
dropped.
onto Fitz. Now down and out as well. Putting it to a 2-person advantage. A 3-person
Oh.
advantage is M Shake able to catch Courier in the right place at the right time. Wrong place, wrong time. In the
Yeah.
case of Courier there, and that's going to be their ace down, which is a huge loss, as that means that office wall is not going to be open. Does open a little hole in wall, does manage to spot M-Shake there, gets a lot of damage out. Chaos is now low as well. Goes for an aggressive swing. Oh, the whiff, the body was exposed, but Sniper will be there to save and cover M-Shake for a triple kill. No ace, but dang, looking close. However, that's going to be Dave to take down M-Shake, finally getting him down. But with 20 seconds to go, there's really not a lot of options here. Diffuser not in hand either. Gonna have to try to pick a big amount of numbers down here. Clash down by Piano, gonna be able to spot Dave. Does go for that Clash slowdown, and Nam will just be there to pick it up. No problems, no questions asked.
Yeah, they played slow, and MST were, they have a Clash. They want you to play slow, because as long as you have to stare at that Clash eventually, that means there's someone going for a crossfire, just waiting for you to walk up a little too far. And MST actually going to take a timeout off of their round win, trying to keep this momentum going. Maybe look like they're cooking something up, scare SIUE a little bit, put the mental warfare on them.
I do like the timeout here, because usually what this starts to mean is, one, whoever's winning, or not winning, whoever calls a timeout usually is the one who wins. And what they're trying to do is prevent an attacker momentum. And this is a pivotal time to do that. Remember, one timeout per matchup. And with how close it has been, and with SIUE at some points being able to maintain an advantage, this can make overtime a bit scary for MST Green. So calling the timeout now and calling pretty much banking on winning this round, that means that SIUE might not even get a chance to build the momentum they need in order to turn this round or this map back in their favor. It's a lot harder to do that now with this reset.
Bombs as they can.
They are betting very hard on basement with this comp.
Attackers have discovered
Double
the location
sniper
of a
with
bomb.
Thatch Thermite. With the Maverick, it was more. No, they found out they're on first floor and have completely changed up the game plan. Would have been funny to see him commit.
That would have been really bad if they cut that. We do see the Blitz coming back again. That's going to be coming from Courier. We also have the Scoopos coming in from Sniper, which, again, big fan of Scoopos on maps with a lot of funnels, because it allows you to get away pretty much scot-free in a situation that otherwise you would have no room for recourse without backup from your teammates. So this allows you the flexibility to solo roam, which traditionally is a horrible move. But now you can get away with it. Waste that time and then meet up with a teammate, or just do it again and waste even more time if the team you're fighting is playing particularly slow. So that's something to keep an eye out, see how that goes, because you do have that Scoopos fallback right towards connector on site. So I think there's a lot of potential here.
Wow,
They have the Scoopos
observation.
covered. They don't know. Oh, they might think site is safe. This could be disastrous. They didn't spot the Scoopos at all, I don't think. Oh, wait, I think they did now.
I think they jumped over it. I don't know if they've noticed it's Scopos or not, or if it's just anything. No, they've noticed it. He jumps right over. He's waiting. Tubular still gonna find one regardless, but there's the shots coming out from Courier. Not gonna find the down though. Just getting Golio to really low health instead. Scopos can't teleport, which is the good thing here. He's a built-in shield. But this friend, no way he finds the shots to connect. Chaos gonna be able to get revenge on Golio there, but it's 4v3 right now. And there's no one on the Scopos anymore, so if Sniper wants to get involved on site, it's possible again. Not going to be able to. Taken down by Fitz as we're evening out the numbers. What are you doing there, M-Shake? Just staring, watching. Peeking up from the deployable shield. Dom's going to be able to find one and even out the numbers. Once again, Tubular going to make it 2v1 with a double kill. And it's up to Chaos sitting on site, knowing there's someone hiding in that little back room. He's going to have to jump in eventually. Tubular not going to find the headshot, but both are low now, and Nam is aware of where he needs to go. He has the cross ready. He's looking at the window. He wants to just take Chaos's head off here. And a minute to go.
Yeah,
we can be here for a while. Jump in? Never mind. Wait. What is this jump in? Nam knocking away the gunfight. Doesn't even land a bullet on Chaos. What?
Oh, that's a bit of a yikes on that whiff there. Does have the vertical now, could potentially spot someone out. However, thanks to those Thunderbirds, Nam will be able to go to full HP if she picks one up, which so far doesn't look like she has. It does look
looking
like the
for
one
him.
nearest to her is recharging. Oh, but does get caught in the rotate, but manages to counter swing, taking him out. That's going to be MST now bringing it to match point. I'm telling you, that's the momentum call that MST made. That was the risk they took, and it paid off. As now SIUE
Wild,
has to
yep.
win 2 rounds in a row to bring it back to overtime. MST has successfully turned this around.
I mean, it's 1 round for overtime, but I know what you
Oh,
mean.
1 round.
I know what you mean. Yeah. 2 rounds to match point.
Mhm.
And they're gonna bet on basement again.
Attackers need to locate
They could
and
change it, so it's
defuse
not that big of
bombs.
a bet, but we have a cap. What is this comp? Cap can flash. Okay. Sure. Why not?
I'm all for it.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Tubular made it work last time. SIUE did not have any. They could not answer the clash at all.
I'm telling you, Clash is an underrated pocket pick. Take it from me, everybody.
Clash
I am
main
a knower.
extraordinaire.
Play more Clash.
No,
Annoy
don't do that.
Kimchi.
Wait,
But
hold
yes,
on. Wait, don't do that. Ew.
we
We're
need
keeping the
more
Cali.
Clash.
What?
Seconds left.
Wait, why
Do
are
it
we
for
keeping
me.
Cali? Hold on.
Wait,
Attackers
They know it's not
No.
basement. They have a
Locate a
drone
bomb and
staring at
defuse
bomb
it.
site.
no, I know why they're doing it. They're gonna use her to hold from lobby, which I
Oh
do
my
like that
goodness,
because there's a
that's
lot of long angles there.
That's
But
nuts.
the problem is they need to keep a control of basement and prevent that walk up. They need a drone down there, which I don't think they do at the moment. If even
They
one
do.
person from MST,
They have
okay,
one.
they do. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Inosuke set up his own drone there, so he has
That's perfect.
he has awareness
Yeah,
of fireplace stairs.
Yeah, no, then that's perfect. Then they're going to be able to get an aggressive lineup from lobby and be able to probably get a lot of impact. But that depends on getting those walls open. Right now, the only thing they have to get walls open is 2 hard breach charges from Chaos. If he goes down, then this whole entire plan was for naught. That's a lot of risk to bring other utility onto the table, such as fits with Jackal. But if
I
played
found the wrong.
correctly, if they keep Chaos alive, there is room for this to pay off quite extensively. However,
Ooh.
there is one below, and
He
that
knows
is
where
going
he
to be
is, though.
Sniper. The
has the
footprints are
toes.
too old. They're not going to be able to spot him. They're going to have to drone him out. Golio taking a significant amount of damage. Is he going to walk into Cocktail? I don't know, but he is eyeing that room. And
I
I'm
think he
telling
knows he
you,
has
goes
the
there,
he has the
yeah.
footprints on.
Yeah, it does look like Sniper does get spotted out. Does get scanned though, but it does look like they were aware of him. Does fall back. Now Courier all the way into Trophy. They do gain that control, and it doesn't look like they're going to be going for lobby much at all, as you have Chaos all the way by Trophy, which does prevents that lobby presence. So I do kind of question the Cali pick here, and they are on site right now. However, Nam gonna be from above, immediately shuts that down. You gotta have some kind of accountability for above, which is rather difficult to achieve as it's still the clash. Sniper able to pick off Fitz, who also has site presence. No more. That's a lot of territory loss coming in for SIUE as M-Shake able to take out Inosuke down 2. Now only Chaos remains. The last one stuck in Trophy between Clash and a West main player. Nowhere to go, and Nam will be the one to clear it out for a flawless round game 1 win for MST. Or yeah, MST Green.
What the heck happened there?
That was chaotic.
Barn burner to start the series. Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
It feels like it shouldn't have been MST on that side. I don't know, man. That was a back and forth, kind of confusing one after a while.
I have to agree. That elicits a lot of mixed feelings out of me for sure. Right? Both teams had their moments, but both teams also had some glaring moments that was like, what?
There were some
Whether it
definite
was
head
the-
scratchers.
Yeah, whether it was the back-to-back Team K with the team damage, almost a TK,
I forgot
whether
about that.
it was, playing it super slow from SIUE or the constant sweeps coming out whenever MST tried to attack. There were certainly some moments of all time there. I will say that. That was an interesting one. But perhaps for map 2, it'll be a bit more cleaner and a bit more consistent because that was anything but consistent.
Hey,
That got really crazy, really fast. And I mean, you've also had walk-ins, a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, we could write essays about how much of a struggle it was for both teams. But I mean, hey, they brought it close. It was a 7-5, so it wasn't a blowout, but it was certainly a struggle for both teams. Both MST, who came out on top, and for SIUE, who barely lost it out. There's a lot of learning opportunities there.
You ask MST, dub's a dub.
Hey, and I'd have to agree with you. Even if it's sloppy, you still did it. So, hey, kudos to you. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment, we will be moving on to map 2, which will be Bank. But before that, we're going to go on a quick break, and then we'll see you there for the next map. Be right back.
Tap tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like this. You ain't coming to my house, you ain't about what I'm about. I'm taking nothing down. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like this. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it out. Let's go.
Pick from IUPUI, the flash comes out, trying to push out connector. I'm sorry. And now it's looking like a 1v right there, waiting for the drop. It go down. We'll see one. Push when they got him pushed back.
Gets another one, gets another one!
They're gonna.
Beats.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and my camera is busted again. I have no idea what's going on there. I don't
Same.
blame myself. I blame everyone except for me. But with that being said, we just went through map 1 of Chalet, and woo! What a doozy that was. We saw back-to-back team kills. We've seen some criminal walk-ins, and we've also seen some devastating initial entries. Definitely a game of all time in Midwest R6 history. But with that said, MST Green coming out 7-5 over SIUE Cougars on their map.
Pretty nice of Golio right there, that stat line. I like it a lot.
Really? Really? You took the moment to make that joke? Are you kidding me?
Inosuke
Wow.
also. Anyways, Inosuke having a tough game. Fitzrain and Chaos definitely stepped up in his absence, but 6-11 is
Shocking.
that is a 1 over, I'm doing the math, 1 over 12. That is an 8.3% survival rate.
Yeah,
like-
that's really shocking. That's not what we would have expected. I was looking at it during the rounds playing out. I was quite surprised. This is not like Inosuke, I would say, because usually he comes out swinging pretty dang hard, and this is far from it, to be 100% honest. And I do wonder if, and this is kind of my theory, SIUE Cougars might just not be warmed up, honestly. Like this, if you watched the last matchup featuring SIUE Cougars last week, this almost was like not the same team. Sure, you had some of the same behaviors, a little bit of cohesion issues, playing a bit too slow on attack. We saw that before, but this was just kind of cranked up several levels more. The issues from like a 4 to a 7, you know, it's a lot more than what I'm used to coming from SIUE Cougars. So I do kind of have to ask what was, happening there. But, yeah. So with that, there's definitely some opportunities with the next game, especially now it's their map to turn this around. I definitely think it's doable.
Speaking of Inosuke, the player to watch for Bank is Inosuke. The numbers are pristine, like they've been pretty much all season long, excluding the playoffs, which have been a little rough. Almost 60% survival, averaging almost 1.5 kills per round, 3 kills per death, and a near 80 siege player rating. That is, I think, 20 or so points above his average.
Yeah, no, that is really impressive. And that's why I was saying that this is definitely an outlier. I really do feel like it was just, a shakeup. But with that said, we'll just have to see if that's the case. I really do think it was a rust issue. Maybe there was no warm-up, maybe no practice, maybe classes went extra long this time around, so they just went straight into the games. I think finals is coming close for you guys. Correct me if I'm mistaken.
Some people, they are happening. Some people, they are in a few days.
So that could be it. This is an awkward time for sure. And especially if you're fighting for 3rd and 4th place, there might not be as much impetus to be as ready. So I think now that they're warmed up, I expect to see a lot better performance from both teams coming into this next map.
From MST Green this time.
Yeah, but at least it makes more sense here on Bank.
This one,
There's a
this
lot of
one's definitely
hatches.
justified.
Yeah, and I expect MST Green probably is going to get rid of Cade, right? Because you don't want to have an operator like that to have a full monopoly. But then again, Bank can be attacker-sided at times, and that has shown.
Mira again.
But we will see the Mira ban. Again, still overrated in my opinion. Will die on this hill. I don't care. Bring an Ash, bring a Cali. He's not that bad. But with this next ban, we're going to be seeing a Fenrir ban. We did see a lot of devastating impact coming out of Fenrir, so I'm not too shocked on that. When MST Green brought Fenrir, it might have been MST or SIUE. One of the teams brought it through, and there was one particular round where a walk-in into into piano just turned into a bloodbath.
That was SIUE's defense.
Gotcha. Okay. I just couldn't remember, but I'm not surprised that would be banned because when you have that kind of danger coming from Fenrir, especially on a map like this, which has some pretty big corridors, which has a lot of opportunities to swing from all kinds of directions and tight corridors. This is not a map you want to be dealing with an operator like.
I want to point out that SIU have opted, well, not opted this time, but they opted to attack on Chalet, and MST Green have just opened on defense both times. Are perfectly okay with SIU just handing over 2 defense rounds in a row, 2 defense starts in a row.
Hey, if you feel confident enough on attack, why
10
not?
seconds to go.
It was a
Right,
3-3,
like-
so fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also too, this allows you to mitigate any room for error. I think going defense first is better because it allows you to build up some confidence on what the general atmosphere will be for the map. But at the same time, this also means no nonsense on defense, which depending on your team dynamics can definitely be advantageous. I think it really comes down to preference, but overall it's better to have defense.
Okay,
You know,
so where does
in
Clash fit
anticipation
into the
of
team
that.
dynamics? Because Boater's back on it.
Oh, wow.
Boater loves his Clash. He's a big
Dude,
fan.
I'm telling you, Boater's been listening to to me talking and yapping.
Bomb
He's
It's
located
the
by
pocket pick,
attackers.
ladies and gentlemen.
He loves
Bring
it.
the freaking Clash. I'm telling you, you win games, Chupapi. Escúchame. Yeah.
Oh no, they spotted the Clash out. Oh no.
How terrible. And they bring the Osa too. That's going to be from Courier. I do like the Osa play. I know there are some big Osa haters. I'm not one of them.
I just
Sorry.
hate how it plays, honestly, sometimes.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, but we're seeing a lot of heavy investment onto these Osa shields, these talents, going towards the breach, so I do wonder if we're going to see a heavy fronted push towards the office. I mean, you've got a lot of presence towards there, but no clear from first floor, and that could potentially backfire, as you have Mr. Shake playing close under bottom square, looking for someone to walk up just a little bit too far. That could be a big problem, as if you look at the drones, only 2 are out, with a lot of drones still in pocket. Inosuke gonna get the first pick. That's gonna be on to Golio, which is the Thunderbird. That still, those Konas are still out and available, but that is that's still another gun lost. But with 1 minute and 13 seconds, time is on MST Green's side, unless they can start to really amp up the pressure here. But with surrounding presence coming from SIUE, that time might not really do them quite enough. But here comes the lurk from below. That's going to be Mr. Shake. Does manage to spot one, and there comes the defuse. This is not good, as he doesn't have an angle on anybody, and this is going to be under a smoke plant, and no one is there to stop it. Not even Nam, who has a nitro in hand. But here comes the pushback.
Attackers need to
Fitz
protect the
now
defuse
down,
position
and it's up to
compromised.
Mr. M Shake to walk up, possibly push back. Nam going to take Courier. This could be what Mr. Shake needs, an opportunity to take more damage down, as MST Green is now 1-person advantage. Sniper taking Dave, and there goes Inosuke taking Sniper down. Oh, but M Shake gets caught. But here's the attempted
Wait.
defuse. Does it go through?
They don't
There's no one
know.
there to stop it, and it happens.
Does
MST
he
Green
know?
stopping the defuse.
The first defuse of the game. First
Sneaky,
defuse of the
sneaky.
series. Do they know?
They did not,
They
or at least not until it's too late.
Oh my goodness. I thought he was spraying to cover the defuse. I thought that's what I believe it was Inosuke was spraying at, but no, it shot way too far off to the side.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
Might
bombs.
just not have had eyes, but that's a pretty good start coming in from MST Green, especially with Diffuser being brought out. But keep in mind, it was a bit forced coming out, because you got to keep in mind that MST Green didn't make any significant progress from or from Banana over on that side of the map. And they still had a player to deal with from below. Now, granted, he didn't come up with any, or M-Shake didn't come up with much impact from it, but there was just way too much space for MST Green to float around and fight back. And SIUE really didn't have the site locked up at all, which I think posed a lot of problems. Because on a map that open, there's plenty of opportunity for pushback, which is exactly what we saw there. So now, you know, the question becomes, how does basement play out? Because it's a similar dynamic, and it does look like SIUE is going to try to force this plan here. You already have Blitz here, but you've got Clash going to be holding that position to prevent them from forcing a plant, which is A very interesting development, as well as an immediate walk up the blue stairs. However, they've got M-Shake now on the run from above, having to deal with a blitz player, but still so far no eliminations. Look at how they're all stacked towards blue. That is some extremely heavy presence there, and the blitz does get spotted from blue stairs, but all it takes is a clash to immediately.
Whoa!
Oh, but Courier gets a pick on the Nom. That's what that means. There's no nitros available. I don't know if SIUE knows this, but they have a perfect opportunity to go for a plant here, relatively uncontested, except for Galil with the smokes. But with so much time at hand, this is very easy to deal with. Courier going to take a moderate amount of damage. There goes the smoke canisters. Inosuke taking a significant amount of damage, but the diffuser gets dropped. He miscalculated the timing. He didn't have enough health to be able to get the plant down. Now diffuser's dropped, and now even worse, Fitz and Courier go down in turn. A double kill coming out, meaning Chaos is now the last one remaining, stuck between a clash and a player above, and this force plant, similar to what we saw on second floor, will fall apart, and death by shock is not the way you want to go.
They tried to do another rush plant, and it started out so well. They got the glass early pick, they got the wall open to let the defuse down, and then smoke. The MST green were very ready for that. One, they have a clash in a very tight area. That is not usually where you want to defuse in front of someone. And they were just like, they're probably going to try and do this again. Just, if they were willing to do it on a way more open space, they're going to be doing it in a much more confined one, and Smoke made quick work of that. Inosuke just didn't have enough health. It was a game of inches right there. And they didn't win it. And that's pretty much the beginning of the end for SIUE. They put all their eggs in that rush basket, and it did not pay off for them.
Well, and here's the thing, though. When they successfully took out Nom, that should have been a sign that they could slow it down and bait out these smoke plants. There really wasn't any pressure. Not to mention, they still had Blitz above to deal with Valkyrie. So they didn't, or M-Shake, they didn't really have a lot of pressure on them. They just had to deal with that smoke canister. But the second that failed and a player was down, that emboldened MST Green to go on the offensive, because then they had a player advantage. And once they lost control of bottom square, it was hell let loose for SIUE, and they didn't really have a pivot point. There was no need to hold on. I see where they were coming from, but it just, the risk was, or the reward wasn't there for the risk that was involved. It just wasn't worth it.
And now we have a Sentry. I believe that's Sentry. Like, always mix up the two. Sentry, Striker.
It should be Sentry.
It's Recruit. It's glorified Recruit.
Yes.
This is like the third or fourth one I've seen this season. I don't understand it.
But what I do understand, however, is MST moving on.
Inosuke.
Wow, that is a big opening. Where was the drone work there? Again, two drones still out in the open. While nobody caught any of that. That's a bold push, especially for a site like that. Usually you have someone above and someone down by main stairs. That's just expected.
Warrior was still entering the building. He was repelling at the time, so I think Inosuke thought he had the backup when it wasn't quite in position yet.
That's the coordination issue that we were talking about before, coming into full swing. And the worst part is that's Nomad down too. So now they have to deal with the roam. They can't really isolate it as they want, especially when you got Galil still playing over by CEO. This is presenting quite a challenge if you don't have anyone towards lobby side, so you can't really put a pinch on either Galil or M-Shake. And with 1 minute and 18 seconds, with no vertical control, still contesting from the top square, this is not a lot of progress coming out from SIUE. They're gonna have to really amp up their take on second floor or start to add a horizontal element, which they do have Fitz right outside the double, but it's castle barricade, so that's not going anywhere, and they know that. MST Green identifying that. A little bit of aggression coming out, trying to take a fight against Fitz. Oh, it's a little overzealous there, goes for the pre-fire, and gets head snapped off in turn, bringing it back 4 and 4, but 40 seconds, and still not a lot of presence, but this is the big turnaround. Courier now going for the walk-up, could possibly clear out this second floor, which gives a lot of leeway from above. A lot of damage going out to Galil. Possibly going to be looking to rotate out here. This is where M-Shake could possibly catch him. No, did he miss him? He completely missed. Oh, wait, that
was his teammate. That was Golio.
Yeah, I just thought that. But either way, where was the
15 seconds
lobby
remaining.
presence? Either way, out of time now. 12 seconds remaining. And now they're gonna have to try to force their way onto site, which isn't going very well. Now I'm taking Courier, bringing it down, back to
5
back.
seconds to go.
Olio and M-Shake do go down, and now the plant's actually going off. A lot of damage coming out. Nam going down as well. And now it's up to Boder, who is the last person alive. And yeah,
Boder's
that's not
getting
happening.
trolled.
Gets knifed out. It's a very surprising turnaround coming in for SIUE here.
Buddy, it's your first round win. Don't teabag. Don't teabag. I'm giving you a hint.
Let them teabag. Let them.
You don't teabag after letting the team stealth defuse and then failing a rush because smoke.
All I'm gonna say is, as a player who is now washed
Attackers need to
and
locate
typically
and
bottom
defuse as many
frags,
bombs as they
guess
can.
what?
Teabag all you
Fine.
want.
Oh yeah, I'm teabagging it. Dip, potato chip. Dip, potato chip. Expect.
If you are the lowest fragger, you should be teabagging. It's a great tactic.
Absolutely.
Legendary tactic to tilt your opponents.
Absolutely. And you can expect that very same behavior in the staff match tomorrow. I'll be
Oh.
there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the battle of 66, boys. Me and Cal, we gonna be fighting side by side. A twisted fate. Look forward to it. I'm excited. I have done no prep work, by the way, so I
You don't need to do prep work. It's all talent. No, it's all reflex. It'll come back to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go 0 and 6.
Attackers objective
Hey, you
is
get
to
that one
locate
kill, you can
bombs
teabag
and
though.
defuse.
Yeah, but looking back at the game, we're seeing the clash again.
Why?
Even though at this point it's starting to become overplayed. Now it's kind of lost
Yeah.
its tactic.
It
But hey.
worked for like 3 or 4 rounds, but now it's kind of becoming an every round thing, which is not usually what you want from a pocket pick.
No, I think this is where it kind of overstays its welcome, but they are back onto second floor, and we did see how SIUE tends to kind of attack one fronted here, so it
Attackers have
could
located a
potentially
bomb.
have a lot of use coming out of it. However, when you've got Fitz on the back with
All
a
the time.
Cowley, that's pretty dangerous to deal with a problem like that. And it does look like they are prepping to get that wall opened up. Doesn't connect, it looks like. But, so they are going to have to try to go again. But with 3 lances, there's still plenty of opportunity to get that open, so that's hardly a setback.
Why do you
As long
have
as you
8
get
claymores?
They
And
like
2
their claymores, man.
flashbangs.
Don't question it.
This is like that guy who's setting claymores outside office window, second floor.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot
Oh.
of... Whoa, the Nomad pushback onto Boder, but no one's there to capitalize on it. Although they do start to push up significantly, gaining a considerable amount of progress over towards top square and market. With a minute and 39 seconds, that is some big presence coming in from SIUE. The question now is, where do we go with that presence from there? Remember, Kelly can knock back the shield, acting like a melee. So that is quite dangerous to Boder. That's a really good counter pick coming in from SIUE as they look to make their way up the market. Lord Inosuke taking a little bit of damage on the walk up, but so far, no finding pressure coming in. However, they are starting to move up from market, starting to get a little bit more confident, but they have to branch out from these positions. So far, they're completely binded on that front. Either they gotta find one, or they have to force their way through. They're starting to run out of time. 55 seconds remaining. This is looking a little bit scary for them, unless they can get some real actionable presence in. We are starting to see that smoke coming out. Might possibly witness a closet push in here in just a second. Still got one from below who could possibly counter the plant. Goleo taking Dave down. 35 seconds remaining. That is not the start you want, but Goleo does go down, takes Fitz in a refrag, and they are on site now going for the plant. But the question is, will M-Shake be able to count it from below? Will a Nitro go through? There's a Nitro, and misses.
No
and the
rotation
Cougars
check.
does go through.
Oh, that is not what you want to see. They do at least get one back, but it's 3v2, and Chaos is stuck behind the desk, and he's going to get executed pretty quickly. Courier hanging outside the window, waiting for someone. He's going to catch Nam off guard, but he's going to eventually secure the kill. Took a few seconds there. They know where he is. He's repelling. They need this clash to try and cover here. Can Boder make it over? They have plenty of time to land this defuse. Courier's just gonna hang out this window, be annoying.
Oh my gosh, they're going for the cover!
No,
Oh,
has the
no, but
concuss. Play
Yeah,
closer, play
these
closer.
concussions
Gets it.
could make it too late. Oh, but it doesn't connect the other one. His defuse is gonna go through. Oh, but with only 1.54 seconds remaining, Zofia was relying on the concussion, but this is where Clash can be really dangerous from a repel position. All she has to do is just sit there menacingly.
Away from
And
your
you got a
teammate though,
free
so you don't concuss them. So the second one was much more efficient. Boder had time to reposition and not kill his teammates' defuse chance.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs
SIUE
as
just
they
plays
can.
themselves down. Another, it's like, it's the most repetitive thing that I will keep pointing out. They played too slow. Again, they extended the time a little bit because they got defused, but a 30-second push is it's not always going to work out, especially because you have to start making some careless
Attackers have located
mistakes
a
if you
bomb.
have 30 seconds to execute. As we saw, they lost Fitzrain for quite literally nothing because he had to just try and quickly rotate to cover Office even better. Because
Well, keep
Chaos
it-
wasn't going to be able to do it alone.
Well, keep in mind the fact that they took Marketplace with pretty good rapidity, but the problem was that they didn't really have anything that they could do with it. Exactly. I mean, SIUE has pretty much been banking on these walk-ins the entire time without really having anything that actually sticks. The biggest problem so far is not the planting, it's the post-plant. And the problem is that MST Green, for the most part, is letting them plant because they know they can immediately lash out and cause some serious punishment onto SIUE. And the problem is, with a lack of lockout, tagout coming in from SIUE, and yes, for my technicians out there, that is a little bit of safety ocean speak. You're welcome for appealing to you. But anyway, without really much to lock it in, that creates a lot of problems for the pushback, especially when you're losing one, losing two off the jump. That makes a post plant nigh impossible, especially when you have a Clash on the board, which of course, Boder's playing it again. We've got a Clash main here, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just, it makes things so much harder to put up with. Like, you have to get rid of the Clash. You have to secure where you're planting. It's not just about getting the plant down, it's about the post plant. And now we're going to see a major branch out coming in from SIUE as you've got both Courier and, Fitz and, Courier both holding out from Garage, which is definitely a significant pivot, which is having some success. Sniper taking a decent chunk of damage, bringing him down to about 75 HP, but still free to roam, and we're not really seeing much on roam clearing. And I just want to point out, they have 8 drones remaining. There's a lot of intel to go around, but so far, they really haven't spotted any of the players they need to, such as that above presence, which I would wager could be a big problem down the line. But keep in mind, Boder is stuck in a rock and a hard place. You got players watching from Hatch, players watching from Garage. This is going to be kind of difficult to break down here. And there's that lack of roam clearing possibly coming to fruition. Mr. Shake right by main stairs, looking for one to push the lobby, and there's a spot. Oh, what a whiff. That's not going to do any good, as now they are well aware that Mr. Shake is alive and looking for blood.
Wait, they don't... Okay, that was a Young.
Yeah, that was the Gemini Clo. Next Courier going to be able to spot him out as well. But with 43 seconds, they don't have any time at this point in order to deal with M-Shake. They're going to have to execute knowing that there's a player right behind their back. And that creates a boatload of tension, especially with such little time. Looking for any kind of opening that is available to them, but right now there's just absolutely nothing. And now M-Shake is starting to make her way back down again. Fitz gets the initial pick onto the Leo, Iniusuke, and Fitz taking them down in turn. A double kill coming out. And this is a great execute coming in from SIUE as Boder goes down as well, leaving it up to Nam, who's completely boxed in here. Hops out the window looking to take one, but gets none instead. SIUE to pick up their second round.
Okay, I'm on your side now of they're allowed to execute at 30 seconds. If they can execute like this more often, because that was very well played around the intel. They knew where M-Shake was, so they knew it was a 5v4 in the basement, and they even used the fact that he was on roam against him because they just kind of hung around waiting for him to come back down the stairs and had someone hanging around there. And creating uneven numbers, guaranteeing themselves a 5v4 by killing off M-Shake, and then that just kind of gave them the full send opportunity to just blitz the basement, especially because Clash was isolated, oddly enough. is kind of a weird thing. Usually, wouldn't imagine you want your Flash not covering somebody or being covered by somebody, because if she has the shield up, she's just a sitting duck, honestly. But
Well, and that was exactly the mistakes that MST Green, I think, correctly identified. You had one player who was completely cornered by Hatch and Garage, which was great positioning coming in from SIUE. You also had M Shake, who was pretty much completely caught out and stuck above. This meant there was only 3 capable players who could really, you know, fight off 5 players. A 3v5. Those are fantastic odds. Who wouldn't take that? I would say nobody. That is a clear, decisive advantage. And MST Green, unfortunately, set themselves up for failure off the jump by M-Shake giving herself away and by Boater just being completely stuck. So, I mean, it's just really a numbers game there. You force it 50-50 each way, and you're bound to win. And bound they were.
when they did. There you go. You see, Tor, you're back on this Blackbeard. And teams have been split on this. Have you heard about it? Like,
Really?
even last week when it was not Purdue, was no, it was Purdue. I lied. But Purdue absolutely ran the table. Reloaded! Using Blackbeard in most of their wins, and they were like, and one of their team was like, eh. He thinks it's good, so we let him play it, but I don't think it's like, and it's like, how? It's weird to see something that is generally considered strong by the community to just be like, eh. Take it or leave it.
There's definitely been a weird level of indifference coming around with the Blackbeard rework, and I'm truly surprised by that, considering how much he brings to the table now with the rework. But hey, you know, that's what the team thinks. That's what they're gonna do. You know, it is what it is. But we're already seeing back to back on basement. I really don't think that's the right call for MST Green. However, Sniper does get a very early pick on the Dave, and this is a great advantage coming out for them, especially taking out Dave with the Capital, as we did see them kind of dice up the map with smokes, and now that option's completely out of the way. And this is where I see potential issue coming in. You've got a player in top square, player in archives, and they're completely alone. Shots starting to come out, Sniper taking quite a bit of damage, Flash going out, not going to catch, still a player above, and Courier's gonna get completely caught out by M-Shake. There's the roam getting the impact. Another player down, bringing it 3v5. Nam taking fits as well. Now down to a 5v2. You've got Inusuke, who's completely alone on site, getting taken down as well. There's that individualism effect, folks. When things go awry, trying to do your own thing. We've seen that now twice over, and twice over, those players died. You gotta play together, folks. Now with 23 seconds remaining, it's up to Chaos to try to make something happen, get caught in the Nomad, and here comes Chaos, looking to possibly try to contest M-Shake here to get some semblance of an opportunity to walk up those blue stairs. M-Shake ready for
Where
that
are you
fight,
aiming,
looking the wrong way, as M-Shake will secure MST a flawless round.
Okay, fine. Production telling us he got you on it. I believe them because there was someone hiding in staff room. Wow, 4-2. Okay, going pretty standard here, and attack first not working out this time for SIUE.
Yeah, and that's really troubling, especially when, 1, this is SIUE's pick. 2,
Defenders
they were the ones
being defused by attackers.
having a 2-round disadvantage on attack on bank and on your map pick. That spells quite a bit of trouble. Why is there a Tachanka on my screen? Why
Week
is
2
there
of Tachanka. They played it last week. You have to remember that. They did play it last week.
Ew. All hail Lord Tachanka, I guess. That's still a
I love
thing?
Chanka. Why are you playing him here? It didn't work. Like, the
Yeah,
one
definitely.
situation we saw him in, they wanted to just ambush you with the LMG, and they didn't even have the fire rate. It has a very slow fire rate for a reason.
10 seconds
I feel like it's a good counter to SIUE's own plays, but I doubt it's going to be a good counter to
5
MST
seconds
Green,
left.
because they tend to have a very strong initial entry. If they don't get wiped by Rome, which MST Green particularly struggles in clearing out far more than SIUE does. So if they can get that strong initial entry, then hey, you know what? Okay, cool. That Tachanka could pay off, right? If they're able to slow it down or get some damage in, then yeah, that'll solidify them a free round win. But I feel like MST Green has learned their mistakes from last game when it came to dealing with roamers, and I don't think we're gonna see a repeat of that.
So is Boda just a shield specialist at this point?
Yes.
Like, Flash and Blackbeard is crazy.
It's amazing. I love it. But
Why
MST
not?
Green so far playing quite slow so far. You got 3 players on the roof. Seemingly looking to get some information, but keep in mind they still have 2 drones in pocket and 8 drones available. So that's about a
Bomb
third of
located
their
by
total
attackers.
drone pool, or a fourth of the total drone pool still sitting pocket in hand. You've got a player now all the way in archives. Does look like Sniper is going to be able to spot that player out who is completely alone, which means now the hunt is on for Inosuke, the star player here, and how long she can go alive. But so far, with 1 minute and 30 seconds, there's really no impetus to take this fight, as MST Green has played this extremely slow, still outside with minimal presence so far, other than Galio. This is a very slow tone, similar to what SIUE brought in their half. So I do kind of wonder what their direction is going to be. But we do see the Dekebi call come out. No clear of Inosuke yet. Those pre-fires coming in. No damage connected coming in. So far, these teams really haven't met each other much at all. Does spot the clarify deployable shield. Tries to throw the fire. Gets a lot of damage on the Fitz. Can't clear him out, and he will manage to get away. And the Sniper goes down as well to a frost mat, and there's Inosuke to pick up the kill there. Very well placed frost mat, not exactly the most predictable. Boater going down as well. That's going to be thanks to Chaos, and MST Green having a really bad setup prior to execute. Leo does finally get that pick on the Fitz, but not before Chaos takes down M Shake. Now bringing it to a 2v4 as Galio takes Dave down, and they start creeping towards site. They are right outside the site's doorsteps, but with Diffuser not in hand, stuck over by Closet, it's going to be a tough recovery, as SIUE is almost guaranteed to have that information. Spot to walk up. That's going to be Nam taking Inosuke down, and now it's 2v2. 8 seconds remaining. Much more doable as Nam does manage to take Chaos. Now going for the plant, as Courier is going to be now sneaking up. No time remaining, stuck on the Diffuser, and he's going to go for the knife. Wow, Courier. SIUE to take that round in a relatively clean fashion.
Relatively clean. They did let MST sneak back in after what should have been, or what was, a very slow just walk to the site, a little stroll to the site. And they had the numbers advantage. I don't think with the time remaining and the numbers they had, it should not have come down to a 1v1. Golio had to pull out some top-tier heroics to even that one out. But SIUE should have not, obviously. It's a 4v2. You shouldn't be allowing any kind of heroics to happen in that kind of situation. It is what it is. They got the round win still, so it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it was a very clean comeback coming out from MST Green. The walk up there was, to be honest, quite well done. And, I mean, 2 players, you can still do a lot of damage, especially when you're isolating players like that. Both players winning their ones until the very end, which honestly is the perfect breeding ground for a comeback. But SIUE were able to hold their ground, and Courier played that perfectly in the patience. Not getting too greedy to run up and getting shot out. Played that time quite well after winning this one out. That's really all you need when you're under such a time crunch, which was unfortunately for MST Green caused by playing the same kind of mistakes as SIUE when it comes to timing. I'm not really sure what's going on with playing it slow here, but I really don't think this is a trend for how to play Bank. I think it's just both teams might not feel too comfortable on attacking.
Why is there a nook on my screen?
Honestly,
Tachanka is one thing, but this is a whole different one.
No, let her cook. Let her
Attackers have
cook.
located
Go
a
through
bomb.
garage and let her sow some chaos. She doesn't even have to shoot the default drone. They will have no idea that she's there. See? There's the cloak, and she's gonna be able to get all the way through without getting pinged at all. Default cam not gonna spot her, and this could allow her to get a very early pick. Drone gonna get spotted toward garage. That's gonna be the Twitch drone able to shoot out that Goyo. That's gonna give them that tunnel option if they so pursue. And again, still completely unspotted. This is gonna be huge for potentially picking someone off who's not ready, and that can build a lot of momentum.
He's getting cooked by the Twitch drone right now. Oh.
And not anymore. Does get caught by the mute jammer. That's gonna be one Twitch drone down. Still looking for one so far, but I mean, look at this positioning here. If someone walks to garage, they're going down. And I don't think really anyone knows that she's there.
MST can't really make any difference yet. Has to wait for the team to pull up. Or for someone to cross here.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I think we might be seeing a bait with the Twitch jump. Oh, never mind. But either way, I mean, if you look how they're creeping up.
Misses every shot.
That is not the target you think it is.
Unsuppressed misses everything.
M-Shake going for the shots onto Fitz, gets a little bit of damage down to half HP, but that's not going to happen. Doesn't get any eliminations off of that. Now
Shield
they
versus
are right
shield.
at bottom main stairs, but able to barely hit the head on the bottom main stairs. That head is visible at elevational differences. You got to keep that in mind when playing Blackview. Now down to 45 seconds of Goyo pop, and it does look like they're making the move as you've got Sniper down over at Bank. Takes one, takes another Chaos down, but Dave does get the refrag on the Sniper, but the damage is already done. Now with 3v2, MST Green now on site, and Leo, if she can get in, will be able to plant, but unfortunately goes down from a well-placed shot coming in from Dave, and with active information being fed from Clash, this is going to be really hard to try to find an opening to go for the plant here. As Dave and Fitz are playing very close by. Castle still blocking the way for Garage, and now MST Green is pretty well split up, but Galeo will still be able to go for the plant after that revive, and with no one to really push up, plant will go down, and there's the swing. M-Shake manages to catch Fitz, however, but misses Dave, who will be able to get that refrag. Now down to a 1v2, catches not completely out in the open, trying to make a line of sight and a rotate. Now it's down to the server fight, a classic 1v1 here. Tries to go for defuse, but has no idea Golio is sitting prone in server. Wouldn't have gone for a defuse there, not gonna lie.
Not have gone for the defuse indeed. That was a bit of a bold call, a bit of a questionable one. You know that Golio is going to be hanging around somewhere, because they're not just going to let you defuse for free. They're not going to run all the way back to spawn for no particular reason. It is a bit of an interesting call there to not try and bait defuse. Just like kind of looks like he was going for a full commit there. I thought he could get away with it maybe.
From being defused by attackers.
I wouldn't say it was a full commit. I think he was trying to go for the bait, but I think it was just a lack of, you know, game sense there in the fact of, okay, they planted by server side. I took one player down from server, and we took the player down by garage. We know there was two by server. The last player has to be by server. There's nowhere else you can be. Possibly above hatch. That's a possibility, but more likely not gonna be server. And that's the clear you want to go for. At least confirming server is clear before trying to go for a fake out when dealing with a vertical player. But no. I mean, just faked out and didn't even clear server. I would say that was a miscalculation coming in from there. But still, relatively close round. Just wasn't quite enough.
What's Clash doing?
Probably looking for information down by tunnel. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, Clash isn't going to find any information as no one is going down by tunnel. And that does give a certainty where Clash is, that she's not roaming or doing anything stupid. So, hey, go you, Fitz. I'm not going to tell you how to play your game. But with that being said, it does look like MST Green is going to be going for a vertical here, a full on top down, which does simplify the process a lot for them. Because remember, they can get hit rather hard with roaming. And thanks to their composition with M-Shake on Jackal, you've also got 0 for extra intel and flank watch. You really don't have to worry about anyone. As long as you get that top down, so far SIUE doesn't really have much of anything on the second floor, and even to an extent on the first floor, which means that as long as MST Green plays this fast, they've got them pretty much all pinched down off the jump.
Yeah, you just see them. They know that the camera was shot out, obviously, so they're just watching that balcony. They know someone's on the stairs now, and they can't really push it blindly. They do have Boater if they want to try and actually go for this push. He's hanging down on basement floor, actually, not even first floor. Wrapped extra far down.
Yeah, but they've
Voters
got
get-
support
Oh.
backup now. However, the contact does mean that you're going to be able to shoot that while you do have a player hiding over there, which could potentially be problematic. Walk up to try to put some damage out on Butter. Gets a little bit of pot shots down, but no real significant damage coming out from that. Still plenty of health to go, as now MST Green has full vertical control. Other than those choke points, such as main stairs or blue stairs, SIUE is completely locked in, which is a great opportunity for them, and possibly a misplay coming out from SIUE, as they're completely isolated. But keep in mind, they still have Fitz, but that's gonna be a diminishing return when your other players with guns starts going down. Inosuke getting eliminated, and that's gonna be thanks to Boder, bringing it down to a 5v4. It's gonna be taking a moderate amount of damage, now down to about 85 HP. Does spot Boder towards main stairs, trying to push off the pressure here, and with 38 seconds to go, this pressure offset could be huge. Dave going out, doesn't catch. You see the elevator drop as well. Chaos going down from Galio, and now here comes the push. Galio taking a bit of damage. It's gonna be Maestro Cam. Sniper manages to take Courier. That's gonna bring it down even further. Fitz going down as well, and that's a 5v1. Trying to hold the Maestro Cam to stall the fuse. That ain't happening, but does manage to catch some M-Shake from an opening. Now looking to take another into Vault. Diffuser now down. This is a dire straits coming in from SIUE, as if they lose this round, then they're at match point, and a 3-win streak is pretty tough on a map like Bank. So, for Dave, it's do or die here. Try to make something happen here. Looking for an opportunity, but won't find any, as Sniper will close Dave out, putting MST at games, set, match.
And Inosuke, I don't know if it was a roam more than it was just him trying to put on a little pressure since they knew they were going top floor, but just that pressure came back to bite them after a while. He got his little trade onto Boder, which is great because it's Blackbeard. It is a character that you traditionally aren't going to get a lot of poke on, especially reworked now because he has an even stronger shield. That just interesting decision by Ubisoft there, but kind of overcommits to the play, and eventually it would lead to Courier overcommitting actually or Fitz overcommitting on the Clash, oddly enough, and find a way to die despite being shielded. That's a small thing. I'm picking out small potatoes. I know.
Camera feed up and running.
Hey, the small potatoes can be big meat
Activating cam.
if you think
Something
about
like
it.
that. What? It's not how it works.
I think so, right? Potatoes can become meat, right?
Something like
I
that.
think
Maybe.
according to, I'm gonna make a joke here, and I'm not disparaging them, okay? I think that's the veganism theory.
The veganism theory. No, that's just
Yeah.
plants. It's not even potatoes.
Potatoes can become meat. Don't deny it, accept it. Just a joke, folks. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My
Potato meat.
vegetarian I love. Okay. But with that bad joke out of the way, now at match point, MST at match point, SIUE down 3 rounds. They're gonna have to really shake things up in order to turn this around. They do have a pulse from Fifth, which I'm quite frankly a big fan of, as that gives SIUE a pretty early heads up on where the enemy movers are going to be, especially playing from lobby. Also going for a rather bold run out. Not going to spot anything there, so that's not typical run out. Golio going down very early on, but Sniper going to be ready to get the prompt refrag, and that's going to give all of kitchen and open area space, which is a lot of big space here, especially so early on. And when you take Inosuke down, typically one of the top players for SIUE, as well as a Nitro down, that just makes things a lot more comfortable for MST Green, giving them a bit of an edge. However, they still have Fitz all the way towards lobby entrance. However, here's a problem. They've got a ping. They know Fitz is there. When he rotates out, he's dead. And there comes the rotate, and he's ready for it. Sniper wiping Fitz down. Has no idea the danger that he's in. Bringing it down. 4v3. Already starting to look a bit bleak for SIUE.
Oh, that's your 2 top fraggers down already. Dave and Chaos have been having pretty solid games. Inosuke's been the hero for most of the season, and Fitz has been having a phenomenal playoffs. Puts the shield down, finds Chaos. Dave gonna be able to trade it back for 3v2, and there's a lot of breaching available. Sniper and M-Shape have Actually, no M-shaped tools anymore, but Sniper still has 26 shots in the skeleton key, but he's going to wrap up these stairs really quick, and a good flick onto Dave. It's 3v1. Courier going to make it 2v1. It's the last stand for Courier if SIUE want to win this match, and they won't be able to do it. M-Shake confuses and befuddles him, and it's going to be Missouri SNT Esports taking 3rd place in Division 6 through 8.
Yeah, and with that, MST Green, they come out on top with a clean 2-0, and they are near 3rd place.
Third place
for Division 6 through 8. So congratulations to MST. I've got to say, definitely some whirls coming in. Not so much from this game. This was much cleaner, I would say. But unfortunately for SIUE, whether it was a warm-up issue or I don't know what was going on, but they didn't really seem like the same team. I'm going to be 100% honest. I've seen them play, and they can do really well. And it wasn't really there. I really don't know what happened. I mean, especially on this map, which is attacker-sided, I kind of question the pick altogether, as SIUE tends to be more slow and calculated. And on Bank, getting that on-site presence requires a lot of initiative that sometimes can be lacking on SIUE's end unless they see a clear opportunity or a player advantage, which coming from this matchup and from recent history, like last week, that hasn't been the case. You would think you'd go for something a little more safer, but that just didn't happen. So despite that, they still put up a decent fight. I mean, they went up 7-5 game 1 and were 7-3. So not a complete blowout, although still a decisive win coming for MST Green. But we got to talk about those basement plays coming from MST Green. Very clean the way that they were able to deal with, all those basement players and dissecting Clash. Decently done. I mean, we did see a lot of Blackbeard play. Some going well, some going not. I would say overall a considerably better performance on Bank than on map 1, which is just all around messy.
MST were ready. Game 1 was the warm-up. It seems to be that was the warm-up because they came out game 2 swinging. They denied the very, okay, not questionable, but some kind of slapped together rush plays. One was very well, round 1 very good, but round 2 a bit of an overcommit, and they were ready for that. They were ready for a run back, and that kind of just gave them the momentum they needed to cruise throughout the rest of the game. I mean, they did drop 3 rounds, which sucks. 5-3 is not as pretty overall, but again, win's a win. It was much cleaner as well, which is honestly the big takeaway here is,
oh yeah,
this team not only ramps up, but they know how they want to play, and it may take them a little bit to get to how they want to execute, but they can get there, and that's all that matters when it comes to these series in the end.
Oh yeah, and you got to give a break to both of these teams. Keep in mind that this is the Division 6 through 8, 4th and 3rd place positioning, and on top of that, you got finals going on. I mean, there's definitely some room for the possibility priorities weren't there, and that can definitely lead to some shakiness for both teams. So you got to give a little bit of slack there. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're not done quite yet for this matchup, as we do have an interview from MST Green coming up. So stay tuned for that as we get prepared, and we'll be right back.
Tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back? Can you run that back? I'm trying to play that back. I want that. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Tap, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap, tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm tryna play that back, back, back. I want that. Hey, tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Tap, tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like you ain't coming to my house, you ain't about what I'm about. I'm taking nothing down. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it out. Let's go.
Pick from IUPUI, the flash comes out, trying to push out connector. I'm sorry. And now it's looking like a 1v right there, waiting for the drop. It go down. We'll see one. Push when they got him pushed back.
Gets another one, gets another one!
They're gonna.
Richie Valley Van Beats.
Can't do anything, but I can blame it on ice.
One Raptors on
After that. My dad.
Dash door, he's condor, on condor.
What's going up, main?
in bathroom. Bandit.
Nice.
Bandit in bathroom. Bandit up.
Logi dead.
He stood up
Nice.
flank.
Nice.
Logi
connector in bathroom. Nice.
Here, one's here, buff. Buff below.
That's-
Swing him.
They open.
He's holding you, Logan.
Said.
Dying to fight her.
Down low,
Above
Logan.
us, above us. He's still highway, still highway. That's
My ace. My fucking ace.
Nice, Logan.
Here comes the sweep the wall. Knows that there's one close by, but how close does she know? And does finally catch him out. This is a now Logan trying to test that one first, but can she do all the way downstairs with a health disadvantage? And with those thrown holes, Reserve gonna be with one to save the day.
We're probably wall and one came across stairs. Ran out, crouch. Crouch right, swinging crouch right. Don't swing it.
Whoa! Yeah, baby!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. We've got several members here from MST Green here for tonight on our interview. Firstly, I want to say congratulations to the win.
Thank you. Really hard fought, but I think it went well for us. Obviously, we did win, but the other team played absolutely great today. I can't put anything against them. Yeah, Nam, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it was a great game. I know my guys had a lot of fun. And yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, and speaking of tough fight, I wanted to kind of ask you about Chalet. That map seemed to be a big struggle point for both you and SIUE. There was team kills, there was, damaging teammates, there was just a lot of, missteps from both sides. So I just want to kind of ask more specifically, how prepared were you guys for this matchup tonight? And did finals possibly make this more difficult for you? I just see Chalet as a big choke point for both you and SIUE, and I just want to kind of glean more into what was happening in the scenes.
Yeah, of course. I think Shadow's always been a difficult map for us. I mean, we enjoy the map a lot, but it's definitely one of those maps we're not super comfortable on. That being said, I think this being the third place match, especially what happened last week when we lost to what team was it? WSU, Wichita State. We were a little more stressed, a little more on edge, and I think map one, it was really rough on our part. A couple team kills, some teammate damage, me coming from me, and then also Turda, who you guys called Sniper. But I think once we got past that little hump of the anxiety and getting the shakes off, I think we turned around fine toward the end there. But yes, it was definitely a struggle.
No, and
Definitely.
I can understand that. Back when I used to play for Bradley University Esports, I remember how that moment felt, and it's definitely a rough feeling. That patch after getting knocked out of grand finals, or in our case, getting eliminated in the first or second round of the playoffs. There's definitely a big slowdown that happens, and that can definitely lead to some issues once you go into the next matchup. So completely understand that, and I can relate.
Yeah, and the other thing with Chalet, we saw on the map bands, Clubhouse and Labs are our maps. All right, well, our first two. Right,
Our
so
main
we were
two.
kind of on our back legs here, but it wasn't really a problem. And we were able to pull through. We have experience on these maps, but it wasn't ideal, is what I'm trying to say.
100%.
But yeah.
Kimchi?
What was with the clash tonight? You guys busted it out twice to close out Chalet, and then Bank every defense round, all 6 rounds. Boater was
Yeah.
on.
Boater, he likes his shield. We know that for sure.
Boater is our designated shield main. You saw him play a lot of Blackbeard, like Clash. He used to play Monty a ton on Clubhouse, but we noticed they were bringing shields, a lot of shields. I think on Clubhouse
It was that triple Chalet.
yeah, I
triple
think
push.
they had Blitz, Fuse, and Blackbeard all rush when I was playing top floor in kitchen. And at that point, we're like, hey, we need to slow them down. Let's try Clash out. And for some reason, it seemed like they couldn't deal with Clash. And from that point on, we said, you know what, Clash every round, and we'll probably pull through. If it didn't
Yeah,
work,
and we noticed.
on,
We noticed they were playing some. Yeah, it was that shield rush. We just didn't want that to happen again. There's a lot of cheap strats we wanted to avoid, and Clash, especially with the new buffs in the lineup against Shields, it was a good op to have just as a safety, and it really just covered us while we did our map.
Told you, Kimchi.
No, still mad about it. Works,
I-
it works, but
That's understandable. I mean, Clash is one of those like really frustrating operators to play against, and like you don't see him a lot. I think, at least last meta and this meta now, I think Clash is a very, very strong operator. Especially if with the amount of shields we're seeing played now. I mean, they just add Blackbeard, so that's what 4 shields now plus Osa, so already 5. That you can run, and Clash, in my opinion, single-handedly counters all of them. So it's an option you can very easily deal with, and it's very frustrating to play against. But if you play her right, it shuts down shield meta for sure.
For sure.
I would 100% agree with that. But just going back really quickly, you mentioned some walk-in strats, which is something that I wanted to kind of talk about because we did witness SIUE pulling a lot of different walk-in strats, whether it was rushes or force plants or just even, having someone just randomly pop up on site. So in your opinion, what went well when it came to defending against those tactics? I know you mentioned the Clash, but did you have anything else in mind that you were prepping to deal with that? Because sometimes they did work well against you guys, but a lot of times they didn't. And I think that gave you guys a lot of rounds. So was it really just all Clash, or was there more to the story there?
I think there's more to it. We noticed on Chalet, especially ISU tend to play a little slow, and not really little, really slow. They either rushed really hard or they played really slow, like last 30 seconds. And we realized, hey, if our roam can slow down even more, get a pick here or there. M-Shake and Turda both did that phenomenally. We were playing site, and we see 1 down, 2 down, and then becomes a 3v5, 3v4 last 30 seconds. That helped a lot. Additionally, we try to have some sort of camera or intel in every place they could go. I mean, Clash, you saw on basement holding down server. We had a Velt cam over in garage the entire time. Seeing anyone was pushing garage. I know Nam was watching main stairs a good portion of the time, but we were always looking to see, try to gather intel. Where are they pushing? How can we counter this? What did they bring last round? What do we need to change in this future round going to the same site? So a lot of it's just adaptability. At the end of the day, but I do think the amount of planning that went into this game and like how we want to play around them, I think that worked really well.
And at the end of the day, it's always been an intel game. I know one thing I like to bring up: Goyo on Mezzanine wasted 2 minutes on that second floor chalet round. Just doing that, even if he gets no kills and he dies, it's gonna put us in a very good place defensively, and we see that a lot, I guess, in this SIUE game. So yeah, it's just a time game, time and intel. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, and you guys ran down the time pretty dang
We
well.
ran down the timer. That's right.
Kimchi?
no, what was with the Nook? That was the other one. I was confused.
The
and-
Nook.
Kind of a Hail Mary there.
It's a Hail
Always good to
Mary
try
and
it.
something a lot of people don't expect, especially if you're not watching Garage constantly, or have someone playing Garage, because Garage is one of those areas where if you don't control it in the beginning of the map and you lose control of it, it is almost next to impossible to regain control of it. The Nook there, her entire purpose was, hey, we're gonna cause distractions elsewhere, and eventually, if you can sneak in and get one or two picks off there. Obviously it didn't work how we wanted it to. It was definitely like a this could work in theory. Let's try it once. If it doesn't work, move on.
It's
but
kind of like that triple shield rush they did. You just gotta try it sometimes, and sometimes it sticks.
Yeah, it can definitely catch them off guard, for sure. It's caught other teams we played against off guard before playing Bank, but it's not something we like to, hey, let's bring it to every round. It's like one round, then it's over. Don't worry about it again.
It's definitely a one-off.
For sure. I can 100% see that. One thing I did want to kind of glean your thoughts on, because this was something that we saw that I was quite mind blown by. On Chalet, we witnessed a Hibana and a Warden ban, which was really not what either me or Kimchi were expecting. So what were your thoughts on those bans? And did that affect your composition in any meaningful way or how you played? Because we were both taken aback by those ban picks.
Yeah, so the Habana there, we kind of just ignored that. If they're gonna waste a op ban, that's their choice. We personally don't play Habana much there, if at all, and maybe just if we need to switch. But yeah, we don't play Habana. Warden, Warden's always a choice, and if they don't want to deal with the flashes, that's their choice. I don't think, once again, it's not going to affect us.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
I'll add on there. I mean, on Chalet especially, I don't see Habana getting much play. I don't think she's very useful. Ace and Ther might do such better jobs of getting those hard walls or those hatches if you really need it, or hard reach gadgets, for instance. Habana, I will agree, was a waste of a ban on Chalet. Warden's understandable. If you're gonna play heavy Ying, heavy smokes, bring up the Glaz. But that's one thing I didn't see ISU bring out a whole lot. I didn't see a whole lot of smokes. I didn't see a whole lot of Ying. There were a whole lot of flashes. So yeah, to piggyback off Nam, I felt both those ops were essence waste of bans. It could have been that we banned Mira and they just said, hey, let's ban Warden. But I'm not actually. No, I think they banned Warden first, actually. So I'm not entirely sure. It caught us off guard initially. But at the end of the day, it waste of bans in my opinion. So move on. We don't need them.
Yeah, that's understandable. Kimchi, I think we got enough time for one more question before we move on to shoutouts and closing out. So take it away.
I got nothing else. So anyone you want to shout out before we cut
I
on
believe
for
this
the interview?
chat wants to know about our quote. Right. I'm looking at the
I
Twitch
did not
chat
see the
still.
quote.
Oh yeah.
It
So
was for Sky's mother. Now, this is a kind of it's a delicate subject for Green Team.
Nam, do you want to explain it? Or do you want me to explain it?
I think we can both.
Okay.
So it started out, Sky's mother is a beautiful lady, and he's on our gold team, right? And sadly, we lost to our gold team, and they got knocked out of the tournament, so they weren't here with us today. But we just wanted to dedicate our quote to Sky's mother, and yeah, go ahead. You got anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, it definitely started as a joke originally. When we played our gold team, we went into that game thinking, hey, you know what? We might lose this, but let's give them like the best game we can, and let's push them. And that first map, we made not the first map, but that game, we made a small little bet saying, hey, for every round we win, we get 1 digit of Sky's mom's phone number. And we took a
And
map
we
off
did.
them.
We
took
got
a map
all
off
10
them,
digits.
and unfortunately, Sky decided not to.
They did not cough up.
Yeah, didn't cough up the phone number. So in reality, us trying to get the finals was all just for Sky's mom's phone number,
my
just to prove we
God.
can.
Just a little bit for the viewers back home. He did agree to name his firstborn child after me, and instead of giving us his mom's phone number. But yeah, that's about it. It boils down to that.
Yep.
I was not joking. Goyer said we were joking. I'm not. But yeah.
Oh my apologies.
Sky's in the chat. Shout out to Sky. But yeah, that's about it for us.
Sky, you'll see it in 3 minutes. Don't worry.
Wow. You
Okay.
guys
And he
have
did ask us
one
not to
heck
talk
of a
about this.
dynamic. I must say that.
Mhm.
I don't think I
Wasn't ready.
can really commentate beyond that without stirring the pot further. So
No, that's
we'll
fair.
end
What
it at
the
that.
It's all
heck?
good. Okay.
Huh?
What's needed to be said has been said. But yeah.
What the?
And bravo to you guys. But
Okay.
with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to end our interview. We're not done yet. We still got another best of 3 coming up. So I'll let Kimchi and my replacement take a hit and take the heat on that. As unfortunately, busy bee as I am, I unfortunately do have to head out for now. So with that being said, everybody, thank you to MST Green for joining us on the interview.
Thank you for having
Thank you for
us.
having us.
On the win. And with that being said, we're going to be moving on to the next best of 3. So with that, Kimchi, thanks for joining with me. And to everyone else, I'll see you next time, but we're not done yet. So stay tuned.